welcome to part 2 of our Moho-ho Christmas crochet along. We are carrying on with our tree skirt, and today we're going to turn our circles into pentagons. I've revised my geometry and I'm confident that this is a pentagon. So what we're going to do today, we're going to use our main colour working around the edge of all of these so that we end up with 9 lovely pentagons. Right, let's get on with it. So we have our 5mm hook again, and we've got our main colour there. Now it's up to you with the stockings. What we did on some of them is, remember, we worked through the back loop only to give us this nice little sort of ringy border on the front, a bit of a relief border. I didn't do that on my first one here, so I'm not going to do that on the others, but feel free to experiment. So as ever, when we're lacing ourselves up to join a new colour, we never use knots. In crochet, I find that if you use knots, because it's quite a lacy sort of holey fabric, you will feel them because they'll be harder than the rest of it. So I do everything I possibly can to avoid a knot. So I'm going to turn it over so that the V's are facing away from me. So this is technically the front of the fabric that I'm going to be working through. These were my previous round there, so I will have turned. So it says join, or it says, I say, join in any stitch and chain 1. Doesn't count as anything. So I'll do that again for you just to show how we do it. So I put it in there. So I put my hook through, no slip knot or nothing. Put my hook through my work, catch my yarn, pull it through. That doesn't count as anything. Chain 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet into that same stitch. Now, to help you save a little bit of time and just in general crochet efficiency, if you hold your tail here around the edge of the work as you're working around, you can see, and you work over it, you'll already have sewn that in one direction. So then when you come back to sew your ends in, you only need to sew it in one direction instead of doing the two, so it saves you a bit of time. So just hold that at the back there, just along the top of your work, and work over it. So what we want to do is, we've got a circle and we want to turn it into a pentagon, so we need to create 5 corners. So we're going to go along a little bit, increasing our stitches in height, create the corner, and then flatten off the next side. So once we've got our first double crochet, it's a half treble into the next one, and then a treble is wrap, right. So let's get going with our stitches. So we're going to go into this first one. After our double, we're going to do a half treble. So a half treble is wrap in, catch your yarn at the back and bring it through to the front, and wrap and through all 3 loops on your hook at the same time. When people, if this is your first time doing doing half trebles, this middle one is where it tends to catch on. So I sort of put my middle finger at the back and push it forward a bit and pull it through nice and easy like that. Okay, so we've got double, half treble, and then in the next one it's a treble. So that's wrap around, through and back, round and through 2, round and through 2. So you can see now we're starting to increase in height so that we can add this bit of an angle on. So the next one, into this same stitch here, we're going to do treble, 1 chain, treble, all into this same one to create a corner space. And I'm still working over my little tail end. So that's treble, 1 chain, and treble. So then we want to, chuck my wool on the floor a minute, then we want to start reducing the height of these to flatten it off across this top bit. So we do treble, half treble in the next one, that's round through all 3 there, and then we're going to do 2 doubles, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to stop working over my little end. I'm going to leave that to drop down there. So we're now back to like the beginning of the repeat, if you will, but we've done the first double. So the repeat is double, half treble, treble, treble chain, treble, treble, half treble, double. So we'll start the next one. So it's double, half treble, treble, treble chain, treble, into the next one. So that's our second corner there. Then again it's treble, half treble, double. And now we can see we've got 2 corners. Oh, little hat. So then we start it again. So it's double, half treble, oh, missed, treble, treble chain, treble, and then treble, half treble, double. Double. Oh, we've got 3 corners now. So double, half treble, treble, treble chain, treble, treble, half treble, and a double. 4 corners now. So we carry on this last one to finish off now. So we go double, half treble, treble. So we go treble, chain, treble. Now around about here you're going to be thinking, oh, I don't think I've got the right number of stitches. Do not worry. So on that previous round we had 36, and on this side we've got, on this one we're having a pentagon, so we've got 5 sides. Now 36 does not divide into 5, so we are going to have 1 little stitch left over, and this is how we're going to deal with it. So we're going to go, we do our treble, half treble, and then with this last little cheeky stitch we're just going to go and do a little decrease 2 doubles together like this. All right, so pick up a loop in your first stitch, pick up a loop in your second stitch, wrap it and pull through 2, and then that will finish you off there. So we then do our slip stitch, 2 chain, and turn, and that's that first corner round established. So what we're going to do now is 1 treble into the top of each treble along the way. When you get to a corner space, we're going to do treble, chain, treble, and we just do that all the way around. So that one is going to count as that one going into there, so we're going to miss that little bit right at the bottom of the chain, go in your next one along, so it's just treble. Ooh, make sure you get both loops, treble, treble, and treble. And what we should then have is our corner space, so we go treble, chain, and treble. Now what you need to make sure is that you've not worked over this little stitch, so you sort of smoosh them around a bit so that you reveal this one, so you're not going to lose any stitches. So then it's treble, 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 you've guessed it, treble, another treble. Oh, let's stick another in there, and we'll have 1 more in that bit there, and we'll have a quick look at this. Then I'm onto my corner space there, so we do treble, and then it's chain and treble. So between the chains, so if you look, there's my first chain, between the chains, oh dear, my belly then, and between that chain we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trebles along each edge between the corner spaces. All right, so I'll not make you watch me do that. We'll fast forward through this next bit, and I'll see you when I've got to the other round, at the end of the round. So I'm onto my last side, and sometimes people can get a little bit confused with where the stitches are going along here. So let's have a quick look. So I've got my treble and I've got my chain, and I haven't done my next treble into there because I know I need 10 along this top edge, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already, including the turning chain. So I actually only want another 4 stitches. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that turning chain, what you've got either side of that chain there, they both count as 1 stitch, so we're not going to put an extra one in there. Right, so that's all my stitching done. So remember, we're going to do an invisible join now, so we snip it off, stretchy, stretchy, stretch. Found my needle now as well, look. I didn't find it, I got a new one. Lies. Right, so we're going to do our invisible join underneath the loops at the top of this first proper treble, not in the turning chain. So we go under there, pull, 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 down through those, through the middle of where it came out of and through the one below it, and pull it so it's the same size as the other ones along there to get you nice even tension. Turn around, I then just weave my way down through here. And I think we'll go in this direction this time. I'm going to pick up one of these and we'll go along there. And I'm going underneath the 2 legs at the bottom of each stitch. Lovely. Pull, pull, pull. Not too tight. Make sure that your loop up here is not tightening up too much. Lovely. So then we pick up one little bit going that way. And then we come back half the way through there. Pull, 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 give it a squidgy stretch and snippers. So then this other one, we can see we've already worked halfway around here, so we just need to go, if we pick up one of these, in fact, I'll pick up that one at the back there, and then we'll bring it back through just a few stitches back through that way to there. Pull, pull, pull. Snippy, snippy, snip, snip. Job done. So we've then got our 2 hexagons here. So this one, they don't need to block them or anything. Your corners will appear as you sew them together. This one's been joined together a little bit, so it does look already as an experiment, so it does look a bit like it's been blocked, but it hasn't, I promise you. So we will then, once you've got 9 of these, we will then be ready for the next part, which is joining them together, doing the rick-rack, and then I'll show you how you do the first little bit around the neckline. All right there. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.